thought it was time we returned to Olive Pixley. So it's a bit impromptu, not wash my hair. I've been thinking about this for a while, as she has some exercises related to a peacock light, and I just feel that it's time to share these. These are part of her Ascension exercises. Actually, she was timing them around Easter time, but it's always a good time to think about these things, and we have just had the Feast of the Assumption of the Virgin as well. In her foreword to the Ascension exercises, she says, "The full significance of Easter lies in the reconstruction of Christ's physical body and the ascending through space of that same physical body. How was it done? He told us quite scientifically that the Father, love, had the power to draw sanctified human substance from the earth directly to himself by the cosmic power of magnetic attraction. We all know biologically and emotionally the magnetic draw of human love and passion. Christ demonstrated that human flesh and blood, once it had voluntarily discarded all disintegrating factors, could transcend physical gravitation and be drawn up by cosmic radiations to the Father by the Father. Thus, substance is drawn to substance. With us it is dust to dust. With him it was light to light." The following exercises, which were called, much to my surprise, Ascension exercises, are a means given to us for consciously and voluntarily discarding mental, emotional and physical disintegrating activities, particularly those possessive instincts we commonly call love. Each exercise produces its own freedom. All the deep unconscious subtleties of our nature that are embedded in our flesh, blood and bones are slowly brought into our consciousness for discarding. Christ, who is our magnet, is also the great lover of humanity and could draw us as individual units to himself. That we will let him do so is a very different matter. In any case, let us see to it that we leave as little as possible of our disintegrating selves to posterity. Do let us realise that Christ knew the scientific nature of his mission. In St. John chapter 12:32 he says, "And I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me." Every scientist is aware of that "if" before he succeeds or fails, and Jesus is no exception. The whole future freedom of the world depended on his ascension. On the cross, he was able to demonstrate his victory over death. To the thief he said with utmost authority, "This day shalt thou be with me in paradise." His status as a magnet was announced. You and I are faced with the same problem. If we can discard, our disintegrating activities, the law must function for us as it functioned for him. He can draw us, but only when we are ready. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just read the first 5 or so of these Ascension exercises, not the narratives, because I think it would be most useful for us just to experience it as a meditation, and then perhaps later we can go back and look at the narrative she gives, but really, let's just do it. So the first one is bulbs of light. On an in-breath, visualize under each arm and in the pelvic cavities of the hips a bulb of ivory-coloured light. as you breathe out, see these 4 light centres glow, so that they both energise the areas concerned and suffuse the chest and abdominal cavities of the body. Now we have the first part of the Peacock light. Stand or lie with the hands raised and the fingers facing inwards at about ear level. Visualize a deep blue light, the colour of a peacock's throat. On an in-breath, see this light first start at the little toe of the left foot and run over the 5 toes at the level of the quick to the big toe of the right foot, and over these 5 toes to the little finger of the right hand, and over the other fingers to the right thumb, to the right ear, through the head to the left ear, to the left thumb, and over the left hand fingers to the right temple, round the nose and eyes several times, back to the right temple, and on an out breath back to the point of infinite light. It is important to watch the light until you see it make a contact with the infinite point. The solar plexus discs. On an in-breath, draw through yourself horizontally at solar plexus level a sequence of coloured discs moving from sun at the front to moon at the spine. The sequence is from the front, sun, peacock, ruby, emerald, amethyst, moon, spine. Immediately, the movement is reversed in the same sequence. The sun starts at the spine, followed in order by peacock, ruby, emerald, amethyst, and ending with the moon at the front of the solar plexus. One is conscious of registering only one disc at a time, and one watches the sequence functioning to and fro through the body. This is a watching exercise. On the in-breath, one starts drawing the discs, always in their correct sequence, from solar plexus to spine. And on an out-breath, one draws them from spine to solar plexus. Just do the exercise. One cannot fully understand the physical benefit until it becomes an accustomed radiation. So from the front, sun, peacock, ruby, emerald, amethyst, moon, spine, then sun, peacock, ruby, emerald, amethyst, moon, solar plexus. finger discs. Hold up the middle fingers of both hands horizontally, with fingertips facing one another but not touching. On the right hand, on an in-breath, visualize discs of colour in the same order as the solar plexus discs, moving from tip to base. Sun, peacock, ruby, emerald, amethyst, no moon. When amethyst appears at the base of the right finger, immediately the whole of the left hand finger is suffused with moon-coloured light. On an out-breath, the sun appears at the base of the right hand finger, and the colours run in the same order to the tip. The moon colour appearing as before on the left hand finger when amethyst is reached. The peacock light too, which first will be in the spine, then on external surfaces, the peacock clock, then in nose and throat, then inside the body. This fourfold exercise follows those of the discs in the solar plexus and fingers. 1. On an in-breath, visualize a flash of light within the head from the throat area to the front of the forehead. From here, the flash pours out of the forehead forward as an arc of white light, which flashes down into the base of the spine. On entering the base of the spine, the white light becomes peacock light and travels up the spinal cord to the point within the head where it started. That's your in-breath. On an out-breath, as the peacock light returns to the head area where it started, a wave of peacock light flows from the forehead, turns back over the head, and completely envelops the whole surface of the body, leaving only the face uncovered. 3. On an in-breath, visualize peacock light inside the head, at the base of the throat. And as you breathe out, see the light spread fan-wise behind the skin into the whole face area, especially at the back of the throat and behind the nose and eyes. 4. Visualize peacock light inside the body under the skin at hip level. On an in-breath, the light spirals round and up like a lasso from left to right, counterclockwise, just beneath the skin. When it reaches the level of the ribs, it becomes a very small and intensely vibrant vortex, which spirals very rapidly straight up the chest, throat and head, coming out at the top of the head on an in-breath. Then there's the golden breath, just to finish. On an in-breath, visualize the forehead filled with a golden vapour, like golden breath, and draw it horizontally through the head at forehead level to the back. See the whole top area of your head filled with this breath. And just a little word of what she says at the end. The Ascension exercises are for the purpose of eliminating all fear and tension from the physical body, and of so revitalizing it that it may become a perfect channel for the reception and transmission of transcendental energy. The golden breath completes this process by eliminating tension, fear, and conflict from the very seat of mental and emotional energy, the upper part of the head. Its function is to produce utter stillness and serenity in this area. Without stillness, it is quite impossible to have the mind, the physical body and the soul body coordinated. And without this coordination, it is impossible to be a channel for miraculous works. Do this exercise, therefore, certainly once in the morning, and also whenever your mental equilibrium is disturbed or threatened with disturbance. It will keep you in a state of complete peace. Do it also when your mind tends to become cluttered up with so much unnecessary thought that it loses its receptiveness to divine peace. Okay, that's enough for now. I know they're a bit complicated, some of those.